And thank you for telling me that the volume was off. I apologize. So let's rewind all the way back, and I'm gonna say thank you for joining me again. Sophie was pretty good. Not pretty good. She was great. She was awesome. She was possibly one of the best guests I've had on the show that wasn't prepper related. I can't believe it. I always fucking do this shit. This fucking bullshit. But anyway, that was me rewinding. So with that, guys, the whole cashless, meatless, and brainless thing is where society is going today. Um, we are absolutely going to see some really crazy shit. At anyway, as far as the cashless and not crazy shit, but interesting shit. Sorry, as far as cashless goes, um, meatless guys. Fucking Bill Gates was at it again. He was at it again. He pretty much said, guys, in a nutshell, that meatless a society or telling people not to eat meat can't be done and it'll be too difficult. And that not that the only way to do it, but one of the ways to do it is to put in regulation. So later down in the article, he talks about synthetic meat and how synthetic meat doesn't taste good right now, but get this, the companies are going to figure it out. I'm like, wait, what? They're going to make it taste better? So that means on top of using whatever the fuck you're using for synthetic meat, now you're going to add more chemicals to it to make it taste like meat. No, thank you. So he's obviously still pushing this meatless bullshit. I do agree with him in one point. It's going to be super hard to get people not to eat it. Now, his concern for the meatless thing is the poor countries and how poor countries are not going to be able to afford synthetic meat. Aw, that's probably why they've been pushing the whole bug angle. So now a lot of the poor countries already eat bugs, but they're going to push it even more on their side and synthetic meat for us. Now, yes, vision preparedness. I agree, and like many of you are saying, I'll never eat this shit. I listen, guys. I'd rather eat dirt before I eat the synthetic meat. Um, and I think the worst thing about the synthetic meat problem, guys, is that you'll see people like Bill Gates push this. You'll see him push the bugs thing, but will they be eating it? Probably not, because they think that's how they're going to save this planet. They think saving the planet, guys, is going cashless and meatless. In turn, you have people now who are brainless because they are agreeing with this. They think that the meatless society is going to save the planet. They think that cashless society is going to save the planet somehow. I really don't know the connection in that. But remember, they were training us to go cashless during the whole pandemic. They were telling us back then that, well, listen, the virus lives on the dollars or the bills for 10 hours or 10 days. 10 days, sorry. So now you're lying to us to get us to not use cash and want us to go more cashless. Now, in case you guys haven't noticed, the cashless society, guys, or the cashless thing has grown exponentially. You have a lot of businesses now that are not using cash anymore. They don't want to use cash. They'd rather use cards because it's faster and it's less contact. The problem with that bullshit theory is that they didn't want you to use cash because the virus lived on the bills for 10 days. So what about the card that's in your hand that's going through the swiping machine? It's got to be on that too, right? But that's where they said, oh no, it doesn't live on that for too long. But it lived on the dollar bill for 10 days. So again, guys, they were training us. They were training people to agree with that shit. Now, me personally, I don't buy into the fucking whole cashless thing. I listen. I do think it's fast. I do think it's needed, but not everywhere. I don't know how they're going to get everyone to go cashless unless they do what I said they were going to do and have something catastrophic happen behind it. If something catastrophic happens, then those who survive will be in a cashless society. Cashless society, guys, as you guys know and heard me say this before, is a very dangerous society because when the government wants, or a company rather, wants to dock you taxes, they can do it without asking you, and then give you a notice later saying, well, we're pulling out $300 because you owe us taxes for, 2035 or whatever it is. And you've eaten your fair share of meat and you want a little over, so we need you to pay this carbon tax because we followed the meat index that you ate too much meat, you had too much pork, you had too much beef, and we wanted you to eat this much beef, but instead you ate that much beef, and we're going to take more taxes out, right? If you get a fine, they could take it out without even batting an eyelash. This is the problem with a cashless society. A cashless society, guys, also means that the money, or sorry, the digital banking system is under their complete control. Central banking system, guys, is bad, right? It's wholeheartedly bad. Cashless society leads to that. That's what I meant to say. And the digital banking system wants to be, or rather, is going to be run by the government, whether that's the United States, China, Brazil, Italy, France. It's going to be run by that said country. And they will have complete and utter control over your money, right? So that's bad. And in turn, guys, if again you ate too much meat or you used too much power, you drank too much water, or used too much water, they can hit you with that carbon tax. I've been reading about the carbon tax and how that's going to be hard to implement. I'm not going to say impossible because apparently nothing's impossible, but it's going to be hard to implement. But if they get it right and if they implement it, that's going to be another headache we have to deal with, or people have to deal with. Once they start implementing these central banking digital system and all this other bullshit, this is where we check out of the system. A lot of us check out of the system. We don't want any part of it. We're not going to play this stupid game. We're going to live over here. If you guys come over here and tell us what to do, you're going to feel it. That's where it's going to be. And then you're going to definitely see some fucking, some fighting. Penny prepper, yes, Google does, amongst other things, amongst other technology that we have, tells the government exactly what we do and how much we spend. You know that there's a carbon footprint app. There's a couple of them, but I just found out about this a month or two ago, and this app will tell you how much, what your footprint is, or how big your footprint is on the planet. So, for example, if you're going to fly to Tahiti, then you're going to Austin, Texas. Then you're flying to South Africa somewhere, and then France. Sorry, London. It calculates how much carbon output you put in that travel. Oh, I ate this much meat today. All right. It tells you how much meat you ate out of the year, and then it tells you how big your carbon footprint is. It calculates it all. Whether you're using AC, whether you drive a car, if you're flying a plane, using a boat. And this is how they get people to play this stupid game. Because now people are playing this game, and there are little prizes, if I'm not mistaken, or rewards to go that goes along with you shrinking your footprint, your carbon footprint. And I think that they're digital rewards. I don't think they're real. I think they're like, oh, you got a badge for the least amount of carbon emissions used while traveling to, wherever the fuck you were traveling this year. It's all a game, and these stupid digital rewards that they put in every app now, guys, is training us to do so. Now, some of us can make the distinction. We could look at certain things and go, all right, this is a digital reward. It's not fucking real. It's not accolades and kudos. But they're trying to make it such with a lot of apps. So digital rewards are becoming essentially a bad thing because it's training people, or training society. This is what they want, and this is how they get the accolades. Metaverse world. Karen, you're probably right. Metaverse world probably has all of those fucking digital points in there. Oh, like, for example, um, my Apple Watch, right? My Apple Watch, which I know tracks the shit out of me and all this other bullshit, which I don't care for now, but I will throw it in the fucking ocean when I have to. Um, you link the app and it tells you, well, how much you walked today. It tells you how much carbon you saved. Carbon, sorry, tells you how much carbon you didn't emit because you walked today. And it gives you a little badge on your watch. And people feel good about those badges. There's a doctor talked about this a while back, And I, not that I thought he was crazy, I just didn't listen to him. But now it's coming back to me. He talked about digital rewards, and he's saying how digital rewards please people. It pleases a certain spot in your brain, and your brain looks at the reward and goes, "Oh man, I did it today," and it makes you feel good, and then it makes you want to move on to the next digital reward, whatever that is. James, I know nothing about ham radios, so please, if anybody can help out James with what's a good channel to learn ham radio operations, please put the link in the description. I'm sorry, in the chat on the side. But guys, with that, this is where we are, and we have people losing whatever brain cells they have left, and going along with this stupid plan. It's absolutely bad. Putin will have to save the world from America. I tell you, some people just love sucking Putin's dick. I mean, like I would love to ask people, you suck his dick so much. Like seriously, do you get a digital reward for doing so? I mean, like like I don't get it why anybody sucks any politician's dick that hard, let alone a fucking sworn enemy of the United States, Miss Mrs. Johnson, Mrs. John Johnson. I like that name by the way. Bubble world don't be deceived. Anyway, with that, guys, um, with all the digital technology we have going on, it's absolutely making us brainless. And I say us as a whole, the human race. Um, we're losing our fucking selves, and we're no longer. They're trying to get rid of the individual person. Now I know a lot of you seen these pictures over the years. You read it in books how they want to get rid of the individual person and have all of us on the same page, doing the same thing, doing the same TikTok dance and Instagram dance and all this other bullshit. They want us in line. That training's taking years, so they're probably going to push it along. I just don't know how they're going to do it. And yes, never look back. You will comply or you will starve. That's basically what they're going to tell you. That's down the line. Right now, it'll be a while before we see that. I think. I don't think we're going to see that too soon, but they're gearing up for it. Because here's the other thing: they're meeting a lot of pushback. The people that are trying to get this digital thing going, this central banking system going, the digital banking system, the digital currency, the cashless, they're seeing a lot of pushback from businesses. So that's a good thing. Because the problem is, guys, businesses want to keep cash in play. Cash in play, guys, helps businesses because then businesses do not have to report a lot of the shit or can make a lot of that money disappear. Right? So cash is very important. Uh, Not for nothing, but strippers, right? They love cash. Waitresses, they love cash. People who take tips love cash because a lot of that cash can absolutely disappear. Whereas digital currency, you can't make it disappear. The government knows exactly how much tip you gave that person, right? So with that, guys, it's why they're meeting a lot of pushback. A lot of businesses don't want to fall in line with this shit. Bartenders, you're right. Bartenders are another one. They love their cash too. Um, so again, guys, I do see um, a pushback with this. So the digital banking system taking place, something catastrophic has to happen for that to go into play. Yes, drug dealers love their cash too. Absolutely. Listen, I love cash. We all do. Mrs. John Johnson, give up on Bobo World. I think at this point, Bobo World is just breaking balls or breaking my balls. But yeah, don't feed into it that much. Some people you can't fix stupid. You really can't. And anybody that sides with any government agency that hard, or sorry, politician that hard, there's a problem. There's a problem when we are putting our all into a man, Trump, to run for president again, like he's going to save this country. We gave our power to these politicians, guys, and the only people who are going to save this country from itself are the people that live in this country, not the government, not the politicians. They are wrecking it, in fact. They are wrecking the fucking planet because we gave them all the fucking power. And we need to take that power back. Whether you live in Russia, China, United States, Brazil, France, Canada, we need to get the power back from the politicians. Politicians have lost their fucking minds because they're doing what they want. And so, again, guys, and again, Bobo World, you here's a problem, and I'm gonna call you out on this. Putin is saying the things people like you want to hear from him. Of course he's gonna go against the fucking grain and say shit like that. That's a fucking old political move to get people, your enemies, people on your side by saying shit you want to fucking hear. And like an idiot, you'll believe it. You believe that fucking Putin wants you to keep your guns? Because I can fucking all but guarantee you, if he was to fucking come over here and let's just say hypothetically speaking, take over, you'd lose your guns in a heartbeat. You lose a lot of your freedoms in a heartbeat. You end up in the fucking gulag for bullshit. But you keep believing that Putin is a great guy because your brain is too small to comprehend what Putin really is. Um, and he's just like the rest of them, a fucking asshole. That's all he is. He's a politician. Politicians lose their ways. Don't know why, don't know how, but they always, I mean, I know how. They lose their way because of money. War of Light. Yes, the Chinese police are coming for me. They're going to be knocking on my door. Ching pong, ping, 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 ping. You are under arrest. Whatever the fuck they said before that, I don't know. Uh, Brian Keith Prepper. Am I for Ukraine? I can care less about Ukraine. I'm not going to say I'm against them. I'm not going to say I'm for them. I'm against Russia, that's for sure. Um, but even if I was for Ukraine, doesn't matter. We are, and people are also are often saying with Ukraine, well, the United States put a puppet in. So, how many fucking Russian puppets are in different countries right now? I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a fucking ton. How many fucking UK puppets were put in play by the UK? Again, did it really make a difference that the United States did what they did to Ukraine? No, it didn't. It didn't bother us one bit. It didn't even affect us for that matter. But now all of a sudden, everybody became a Ukrainian expert and was like, "Oh well, look what they did back in 2014. They put fucking the Ukraine, the United States government put a Ukraine puppet president in there. Who gives a fuck? Who cares? How did that fucking ruin your everyday life?" Ukraine is second to Russia in corruption. It doesn't matter if Ukraine's corrupt, guys. Again, there are way worse corrupt countries out there, and I'm pretty sure you guys don't know anything about them. I do. And you know what it does? Nothing. Doesn't ruin my day. Let the corruption stay there. Who gives a fuck if it's corrupt? By the Ukraine being corrupt, how does that change your day? If anybody can answer me that, please, by all means. I'm worried about American problems. I'm not worried about fucking Russian problems, or Ukraine problems, or African problems, or Chinese problems. Though the Chinese influence, thank you, high country, is definitely something to be concerned about because we're seeing them spread. But again, how does the Ukraine being corrupt uh, affect you? Doesn't affect the money in your fucking pockets. Doesn't affect the food on your table. What's going to affect us if we actually have to go to war over this bullshit? Yes, right, and imagine getting nuked over Ukraine. It would suck if we got nuked because of that shit fucking country. Those fucking assholes asking for more money. But still, how did it matter? When they put in the puppet government, then no one gave a fuck. Now all of a sudden people do because Putin said so. Yes, Prep Rebel, you are right. Russia is not the biggest threat, but they are making the biggest threat. But the Chinese are far worse because they're being sneaky, right? Because look, what are we doing, guys? What are we doing? We're focusing on Ukraine and Russia and going, man, look at that shit going on over there. And the Chinese are fucking opening up police stations around the world, right? And we're focused on the wrong thing. We should be focused on the Chinese. Our boy Hemingway, yeah, listen, him giving money, whatever. But again, guys, everyone all of a sudden, and I'm not proclaiming to be fucking knowledgeable about this whole Ukraine Russia shit. I know about the history, but again, how does it affect us? It doesn't, unless we go to fucking nuclear war. Then it affects us. But listen, it doesn't matter what it is. I think we were headed in this direction regardless. Regardless of what it was, it was Ukraine or fucking some other European country, we were headed towards this world. America is not New World Order terrorist organization. Grow up. It's far beyond that. We're not even. I think we're not even. We're more like a pawn in the game than we are the player, if you will. The players are over in fucking the EU, and I believe some of the Arab nations are the bigger players. Again, Arab nations we're not looking at anymore. The USA are the terrorists, and the USA are not the terrorists. And again, for those of you that think the USA are terrorists, prove to me how they are, and I bet you I could destroy your argument with fucking a couple history lessons on how the world works. The United States became the power it came, yes, through terroristic tactics, but so did Russia, so did China. Hell, man, so did the fucking UK. So again, you guys want to go down this road? Let's go down this road. But you're not gonna like the fucking answers I have to give you. And Bobo War, we are not starting World War III. The fucking the Russians are. You can't Billy the Kid Norwood. You can't prove it because I could come up with the same evidence you might come up with what the Russians and the Chinese have done in the last 30 years. Fuck it, last 10. Spam is the biggest terrorist, guys. The biggest terrorist threat to this country. They're backing me into a corner with this bullshit. That's the biggest threat. That's my more concern. Not Russia and Ukraine. Fuck that shit. For one, we are liars. Again, Billy the Kid Norwood. Name me a country that isn't a liar. Would you stop? Again, grow up with the bullshit. Stop sitting there acting like the United States is the fucking bully of the world. We are no longer the bully of the world. We lost that title a long time ago. You have, again, the Chinese and the Russians doing way more conniving, deceiving shit. You have countries in South America doing conniving and deceiving shit. It's all a big game. It's all a big game. It's all it is. But to sit there, guys, and act like we're the only ones, this fucking bullshit, and you're not paying attention. So, Bubble World, 2009, once again, Russia was picking a fight with the world. Matter of fact, Putin has on numerous occasions, even before Trump was in office, even before Obama was in office, had made hints to wanting to take on the United States, as in war. He has made this declaration himself before all of this bullshit now. So again, because you're not paying attention, because you're rubbing fucking Putin cum on your face, you're not listening to what he has said in the past. You're only listening to what he said as a recent, right? Biden was behind taking out. Biden was not behind taking out the pipeline, Gene. Please, Biden's too stupid. I'm sorry, you're giving Biden way too much credit for that one. And we don't know who took out the pipeline. I'm gonna tell you this much: pipelines is in Russian water territory. Their fucking subs circle that pipeline, and not just because of the pipeline. That's their waterway. So again, if that's their waterway, how the fuck did the U.S. get in there and sabotage it? It doesn't sound right. And I'm not saying the Russians did because no one fucking knows. But again, to sit there and carry on and blame somebody for some shit we don't know, you sound stupid. You sound stupid for blaming somebody for some shit we don't know. We haven't. We could say, in my opinion, I think, or this might be the cause. But to sit there and be like the Russians did it, or the what you call it, I think the Russians did it. But that's what I'm saying. I think. I'm not saying they did. Hell, for all we know, the Chinese could have did it. Because everybody's blaming everybody else. The Chinese are sneaking on the water in their one-man submarine fucking thing and sabotaging shit. It could have been them. We don't fucking know. We don't know who it is. But to sit there and blame the United States for it sounds fucking stupid. And to boot, Germany is also backing whatever happens to that pipeline. So could have the Germans done it? Probably. Again, guys, if we're going to have honest talk, then let's have fucking honest talk. But, you know, yes, I take Monkey Works with a grain of salt, guys. Monkey Work is in it for the entertainment. He has said it himself to a couple preppers. He's not fucking real on this shit. He sounds real on it, but he's not real. A lot of his information is fucking faux It's fucking bullshit. Like I said, I take his shit with a grain of salt. You know, um, Canadian Prepper did do it. Yes, he was the one. But again, guys, being that it's their water, who the fuck knows what did it? But you can't sit there and blame one side or the other. We don't know. We can't sit here and act like we know. We don't. We don't know. I will say I don't know all motherfucking day long because I'm not going to sit here and profess to be the know-all of everything. I'm not a certain prepper channel who's sitting there reading shit going, guys, look at, oh my God, Did you see this report I got from my friend whose cousin who works over in another country, and then he has a pharmacy, but it was actually his veterinarian's brother. Like that kind of bullshit. We know who the fuck that is, right? And again, guys, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I know what the fuck's going on. I don't. I wish I did. I could speculate a lot of shit, and a lot of channels speculate a lot of shit, but um, the pipeline was in Russian waters. It runs right through. It runs. It's like their backyard, and it runs right down on whatever the fuck it was connecting to. But I was looking at the map, and I looked at the pipeline, looked at the map. It was there. The Poseidon plane being in the area doesn't mean much. Again, uh, I take Monkey Works bullshit. I take it with a grain of salt. That's all. And a lot of people should too. I've out of his fucking mouth said that he does it for entertainment. So again, you believe a guy that does it for entertainment, keep believing him. Global warming did it. Yes, global warming did it. I don't know, the Chinese. Maybe there was an African nation that felt left out of this whole thing and did it. The North Koreans. Who knows? Yep, someone just said it. Ace said it. Biden destroying the pipeline. He doesn't even know how to flush a shitter. Thank you, Ace. Exactly. Biden ain't making. And even if the Americans did it, it wasn't Biden's call. It definitely wasn't Biden's. It definitely wasn't his call because he, like it said, you see the guy get lost on stage. On stage, he's standing there like, which way do I go? And he's just like standing there. So he's gonna be the fuck out of here. But anything that happens, it definitely wasn't Biden's call. It might, if you want to say the United States did it, fine. Some fucking, you know, dark government agency maybe, but not Biden. He ain't making those calls anymore, guys. The fucking guy is out to lunch forever. He ain't coming back. Polar Patriot, yeah, just a puppet, yeah. And that, I mean, I guess that's the point, guys. For everything that I say on here, I'm not trying to. It's not factual, in the sense that I can't sit there and tell you this is what it is, you know, and that's it. Or my report from my buddy from fucking 2 years ago who was in the military told me this. I'm not going to do any of that shit. I don't fucking know, because then, guys, when it doesn't happen, you look like an asshole. But then if it does happen, well, guess what, guys? I could throw shit against the wall all day. Some of it's going to stick to the wall, right? So a broken clock is right twice a day, right? So eventually you're gonna get right if you keep throwing shit at the prepper community on fucking YouTube. If I keep fucking spitting bullshit out all day, some of it's gonna catch and I might be right on some of it. That's how it works. That's how a lot of those guys operate. I refuse to operate that way. I will tell you that this is something we should pay attention to, but not going to happen. And there are other people that are like, yo, it's gonna happen. You know? And it's getting old. It's getting old. Remember that the what was it, the 24th of last month? Some shit was supposed to happen. We're still here. We're fucking still here. Stop listening to those fucking preppers in the end of the world date. Guys, when the end of the world date comes, you will fucking know and no one else will know, or rather we will all find out on the same day. That's when the end of the world date comes around. It comes around when we all find out together. No one man's gonna say, yo, October 20th, some shit's gonna go down. But I can't tell you what. And then leaves. And everybody's like, what the fuck? The 20th of what? Why? But here we are, fucking believing a bullshit. Look what happened on 9/11. Yeah, what happened on 9/11 was fucking, it was a lack of imagination. It's why it happened. I don't know if they specifically designed to do that date, but yes. We have 27 minutes to live, Canadian prepper. Yes, exactly. Titles like that. Guys, you better get all your shit and get all your shit in order. It's coming. I'm like, seriously? And he's running out of titles because those titles are getting worse. Those titles are getting a whole hell of a lot worse. They're getting fucking way more gloomier and doomier by the fucking day goes by. Raining spam October 20th. Mike McDonald. Exactly. That's what's going to happen. Pass it on. On October 20th, it's going to rain spam. Well, Billy the Kid Norwood, we're all going to die someday. Absolutely. We absolutely are going to die someday, but, when? Fuck it. I thought Putin did 9/11. No, he did not. Yeah, whatever. Someone said Canadian Prepper is amazing. Yeah, he's amazing with his fucking lies. That's what he's amazing about. He's amazing on how he fools so many people into the bullshit. But that's what he's amazing about. nice, nice one, Johnny. He's amazing for a fucking idiot. I'm like, listen, guys. Listen. If you want to believe people like that, so be it. I can't tell you not to believe a motherfucker like that, or anybody like that. But if you want to constantly believe and be scared and watch him like a TV show, I'm like, how's he going to scare the shit out of us today? And then watch him, that's on you. That really is on you. I can't tell you, I'm not going to tell you not to watch somebody. That's up to you. But he analyzes all of that. But yeah, analyzing shit. He's been analyzing for the last fucking, I don't know, 4 years now. And what? Still fucking here. 6 months ago, it's all going to end soon. We're still here. So again, guys, all right, be careful stepping into bullshit. Yes, he's a Chicken Little. Exactly. It's bad, guys. He's like CP, he's entertaining. I mean, listen, if you're watching him for entertainment value, absolutely, fine, I get it. But to sit there and believe the shit that's coming out of his mouth, again, guys, it gets old. And some people I've saw in some of his comments months ago, people were like, "You said this was going to happen, and it didn't," and they were calling him out on certain things. And some of you guys were fucking beating him up pretty good. But yes, Penny Prepper, he's crying wolf. Now listen. I did a video on Bill Gates and Civil War, and I had a couple people like, "You fucking kidding me? That's not going to happen." I didn't say it was going to happen. I just said this is what he said and this is what he thinks. Do I think it's going to happen? No, I don't think so. I mean, I'm paying attention so I don't get caught with my pants down. That's what we should all be doing. Pay attention so you don't get caught with your pants down. But you also shouldn't be believing every little thing that happens, guys. You know what happens when you believe all of this bullshit? It makes you sick. That's what happens. This is why I don't follow other channels. Stop the hate. Hope Flyers. It's not called hate. It's called creative differences. All right. If it was hate, my fucking rant last week was fucking hate. But I'm not. It's not hate. Mark Olson. He does still get the views because people don't see past the shit. And the crazy shit is even people who don't like him still watch him. He has a lot of fucking people that write bullshit on his channel all the time. He still gets it. He don't give a fuck. He's about the money. And as soon as you people realize that, you'll see it for what it is. But Hope Flyers, you're not going to see it because you're in love with the guy. You think he's on the level. So be it. That's up to you. But sooner or later, a lot of you are going to wake up. Mark Olson, he does get the views. You know what? And again, he gets the views because he appeases his viewers. He tells his viewers what they want to hear. I don't do that shit. It's why I'm perfectly fine with losing subscribers. I think I'm up to 400 subscribers gone from my channel. So fucking be it. If you don't like what I have to say, if you don't like the truth that I'm talking about, that's on you. But again, guys, if you're gonna believe these preppers, that's entirely up to you. That's your call. I'm not gonna. I mean, I'm not gonna motherfuck them anymore. I mean, I did it that 1 week. That was it. But you guys want to believe the boy cry wolf preppers? That's on you, man. I don't know what to tell you. But when you find yourself getting sick, when you find that your stomach hurts all the time, you're always nauseous, you have a headache all the time, you're like, man, I'm fucking stressed out. Why am I stressed out? Well, maybe if you stop watching fucking preppers that are scaring the fucking dick out of you, you won't be fucking that sick all the time. RDW, yes, thank you. You're right. 400 less Putin trolls. Firefighter Prepper, thank you for the donation, man. I appreciate it. And somebody else donated to me earlier. Thank you for the donation. I am sorry I missed it. Deanna, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. But yeah, guys, it's enough of us are getting sick over the bullshit. I think, and when you watch the news all the time, for example, we're going to talk about the news, mainstream media, and people were getting sick because they're getting a knot in their stomach because they're like, are they going to drop a nuclear bomb on us? What's going to happen? You know, what's this going to be about? What's that going to be about? And so then you're like, you realize what the problem is. You stop watching TV. Well, when you look at fucking, how about these communities that are stabbing people? Apocalyptic Ben, can you elaborate on that? It says, how about these communities backstabbing everyone? That's just as bad. Probably. So GMA says, I don't like what you say. This communist shit sucks. I don't even know what that means. I'm not even sure if that's English. Can somebody who speaks English help me out here, please? AP is helping CP get views. Probably. Um, but yeah, listen, guys, I don't know. At some point, you got to see through the bullshit. Now, again, guys, it's fine. Prepper Boo Book Club. Thank you. Ooh, sorry. Thank you for the donation, guys. It's fine if you have a prepper channel and you're warning people about the shit that's going on. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. I want to know as much as I can on things that are happening and going on, but I don't want people to sit there and say this is going to happen. Now, are we going to see some kind of nuclear war? We probably will. But is it going to happen tomorrow? Or is it going to happen 20 years from now? When we went through this whole Cold War shit, guys, America was sitting on the edge of their seat every fucking day of their lives because they thought a nuke was going to strike and hit America. And then in the 80s, late 70s and into the 80s, we had all of these movies on nuclear war. And what happened? Now we're still sitting here. Now, obviously, guys, we are way closer to nuclear war than we were back then. I think we're closer. But that doesn't mean it's going to happen. I think that cooler heads will prevail, and then we'll see some shit. You know, we'll see some shit settled. Or Putin will wake up, be like, fuck it, run over to the fucking button and hit it. I mean, like, I'm pretty sure that's not how it works, but you get my point. And then we got North Korea, which is the wild card. North Korea is acting like an asshole right now. North Korea is looking to enter this fucking theater. They're looking to enter this theater, guys. And maybe we should be a little more concerned about North Korea haphazardly launching some shit. But again, I'm not worried about it. Until it happens, then I worry. Will I continue to do YouTube videos, guys, on this kind of shit and warning you guys? Yes, absolutely. But will I say that it's going to happen? No. I don't want people to worry. I don't want people to get scared. I just want people to know. It's a completely different thing. Midnight is me bedtime. We have channels that do what you're saying and scare everyone for money. Then we have cliche, forming communities privately, telling people not to subscribe to certain. Okay, right. Apocalyptic Ben. Very good point. Let's see if we can put this on the screen. So Apocalyptic Ben says we have channels that do what you're saying and scare the shit out of everyone for money. Then we have cliche forming in communities, privately telling people not to subscribe to certain people they disagree with. Yes, Apocalyptic Ben, I agree with that. We definitely have fucking people lurking in the dark and doing shit like that. Listen, I will never tell you not to follow Canadian Prepper, Full Spectrum Survival, Monkey Works. Listen, you want to be entertained, you want to listen to their channel, so be it. Listen to their channel. It's fine. I'm never going to tell you to unsubscribe from somebody. Even that asshole unapologetic prepper. I'm never going to tell people don't listen to him. Don't listen. That's just my opinion of what I think of these guys. That's all it is. Just an opinion. I don't want anybody to be confused with he's telling us to unsubscribe. No, I'm not. Don't do that. To do what the fuck you want to do. You want to listen to the bullshit? Listen to the bullshit. You want to listen to truth? Go find some truth out there and listen to it. You know, I try to get as close to the truth as I possibly can, and sometimes even I get taken for a ride, and then I got to look back on it and go, "Fuck, I fucked up." For example, for those of you that saw the picture on my Angry Prepper channel of a white Jeep in a train tunnel, someone said that to me. I'm like, "Holy shit, this happened in Queens," and the guy was from fucking New York. So I looked at him like, "Oh man," but then I looked at it and I go, "This looks not like New York. I think this is Queens." But I'm like, "Where in Queens would this be?" Because a lot of the train system's above ground. So I'm looking at it and I'm like, whatever. So I posted it. Then somebody calls me out on it, and I type in white Jeep subway tunnel, popped up. It was in Philadelphia. I fucked up. So I took it down. So I should have put a retraction in, which I should have done, but I'm retracting it now. And even it gets sometimes the bullshit gets the best of me, but I have to do more vetting. That's all. Every time I make these mistakes, I do more vetting. My vetting for information gets more stringent, more tough. But stop blaming people. How about you stop being so naive, weak, giving into fear? Just be ready if you get scared. Yes, exactly. Pedro Rothschild of the light. If you give into the fear, right? And you're not supposed to give into the fear. That's exactly the point. Um, Not saying that again, but that's what people are doing. They're giving into the fear. It's why they're getting sick. I don't believe in giving into the fear. But you can also stop repeating it now because we get it. But with that, yeah, guys, it's just what it is. Oh yeah, Jeanette, thank you. Pinball's very fucking good. You know what else is good? NY Prepper. He's another good one. He tells you what's going on without fucking scaring the shit out of you. I mean, the titles come across a little alerting, but nonetheless, he doesn't come across scaring the shit out of you. Pinball, a lot level-headed, a lot more level-headed than I am, anyway. Um, you know, but yeah, these are people you want to listen to, guys. They're gonna tell you the truth, and they're not gonna make a decision for you. It's what the news used to be, right? The news used to give you the news and let you make your own conclusion. Now, mainstream media, YouTube channels, whether it's a prepper channel or fucking some, left wing or right wing channel, they're feeding you the news and feeding you on how to think about this. That's bad, and I'm trying to get away from that myself. So when I start reporting shit, guys, I'm reporting it as things that could happen, not that they will, and not that I think that it won't. Just giving it to you and letting you guys come up with what you think. Now, the digital banking system, that's bad news. Um, and like I said, the only way for that to happen is a cataclysmic event. So hopefully we won't have a cataclysmic event. Um, well, Apocalyptic Ben, you shouldn't. I don't censor myself. Fuck that shit. Listen, I knew the Putin thing, the fuck Putin thing was gonna fucking have people bail out of my channel like a fucking bad plane, like it was the Titanic. I don't give a fuck, man. I do not care. Um, if you're going to be yourself, be yourself. Eventually, you will hit the stride that you want to hit here on YouTube. But once you start placating the people, once you start bending your views and your way of thinking for people on here, you're lost. You're already fucking lost, guys. You're fucking well behind the curve. But yeah, off grid with Doug and Stacy are also great. And listen, guys, if I'm slipping, you guys are gonna call me on it. That's the other thing. That's the other reason why I like the YouTube channel. Because you guys will call me on it, and I don't have a problem with it. When like, hey, listen, you might have went too far with this, or went too far with that. You know, um, I don't mind that. I don't mind being corrected in that manner. But when it's stupid shit like, oh, Putin's a savior, now then I lose my shit. Or when people tell me spam is good, I lose my shit. Spam's delicious. You people out of your minds. Listen, apparently I apparently I lost a fight on the. Not that I was looking to pick a fight or have any kind of swaying, but that Seven Up cake. Some of you people were fucking all about it. People are like, oh, I love Russian cake. I love the Seven Up cake. I grew up on it. I'm like, God damn it! I just heard about this shit. Seven Up cake, and people are like, that was just the greatest thing since sliced. I'm like, calm down. It's cake with a bunch of sugar in it. But I didn't know that there was such a thing. And so many people were like, I grew up on this. My grandmother made it for me. I used to eat this all the time. But everybody seemed to have had the same consensus. They ate it when they were a kid. So I guess that we're older now. We don't want to go into diabetic coma. But nonetheless, you people were all about that shit. The 7 Up cake. Oh my God. Triple H, you're late. He says, what about Canadian Prepper? He is about fear. Yeah, we went down that road again. 7 Up cake against the wall. I don't know why anybody would eat that shit. Yes, Penny Prepper, 7 Up cake. I I didn't know. I didn't know. And people were so in love with it. This is great. I'm like, it's fucking 7 Up cake. But no. First age you got drunk. 23. No. 24? No. 23. 23. It's the first time I got drunk. People are like 23. Well, you were an old man by then. Yeah. According to the today's standard, people are getting drunk at 7. So yeah, but yeah. Anyway, guys, uh, that's what it is, and I think the direction we're headed in as a society, it's bad. You know, it's bad. Fuck the shit that's going on overseas. Fuck the bullshit. Worry about what's happening here. Obviously, guys, if Putin wakes up tomorrow and wants to fucking start a nuclear war, we're gonna hear about it before it actually starts. And I mean the nuclear war. Obviously, he's gonna hit somewhere in Europe first, and then it's on. And once that happens, guys, you're gonna see pandemonium break out across this country like you've never fucking seen for something that happened on the other side of the world. So that's I guess my fear is that if the if something goes on overseas, if it's a nuclear attack, whether it's tactical or not, that's going to spark the fear of a lot of people here in this country. A lot of people. People are going to lose their fucking shit. You're going to see runs on the supermarket like you've never seen. And that's going to be the scary shit. Forget the nuclear war. Rebel Prep Rebel says, I can give you the best recipe for spam. And I throw the recipe right out of the window. He gave me what? Right out the fucking window. No, thank you. Anyone in my seat is fucked no matter what. Nah, not necessarily true. There's a couple of tricks I have up my sleeves for being here in the city. Billy Norwood, thank you for the donation. Tactical nuke. I think, listen, Billy the Kid, the only reason why I keep saying tactical nuke is Putin has repeated it numerous times. Though Putin is one of the biggest liars on this planet. Remember, he said he wasn't going to do the draft in his country, and he did. He said he wasn't going to invade Ukraine, and he did. And he used a bullshit reason to storm Ukraine. So he's been the biggest liar. But I noticed when he talked about the threat of nuclear weapons, he made sure every time he mentioned a nuclear device, he said tactical. So that being said, that gives me some uh, belief because it doesn't matter. And he'd be like, "There's such a swappage and say tactical nuke." He would always say it. Now he probably said tactical nuke in Russian, but you get my point. He always made it a point to say that and not just nuclear. So, with that being said, guys, the first, if anything goes nuclear, it's going to be over there. And then, like I said, even in a tactical nuke, guys, a lot of us know the damage of a tactical nuke, but United States, the Americans here, and other parts of the world are only going to hear nuclear because the media is probably only going to report that, and it's going to scare the shit out of a lot of people. And people are going to be crying in the fucking streets and fucking 42nd Street, looking at the big screen TV or the Teletron, and be like, "Oh my god," and it's people are going to lose their shit. It's going to be bad. I get that you're worried. Everybody's worried. Nobody wants to die like that. I don't want. I mean, listen. Give me a fucking bullet to the head any day, but fucking burning alive, no, thank you. As a fireman, that was one of my biggest fears. Burning alive my bunker gear. Oh, because to think about it, guys, bunker gear protects you from the fire, but you also become an instant baked potato, if that makes any sense. 604. My thoughts on Germany. I don't have any thoughts on them. I know that they're agreeing with the United States. So I don't know what's up their sleeves in that sense. Something's up their sleeves. We just can't, Doesn't matter who Zelensky was installed by. It really doesn't matter. And people like he was so what? So again, how does that move? How does that make your day bad or worse? Right? I mean, I get it. People are like, well, if Zelensky wasn't put in there, he wouldn't want to join NATO, and then Putin wouldn't want to do this. Listen, whatever those two fucking idiots want to do over there is what they want to do. Whatever the two idiots, Israel and Palestine, want to do, that's on them. We're not stepping in the middle of that shit. Why the fuck are we stepping in the middle of this? Let them fucking hash it out, and whatever happens, happens. If fucking Russia steamrolls Ukraine, okay. You know, I mean, they said they were going to steamroll Ukraine, and they didn't. But let's just say they do. Why does that matter to you? Now, I know that they don't want the United States government, military, doesn't want Russia to get the USSR back together again, because again, that's what Putin wants to do. He has been wanting to do that since 2000, probably since he jumped into office, right? Being that he jumped into office, guys, he's been wanting Russia back together. And he's been making his moves over the last 22 years, right? I think he went in office in 2000 or 2001, right? So when he went into office, guys, his mission was to get the USSR back together. He has stated it numerous times. So again, who started this? The United States or Putin? Keep that in mind, guys. I always say, go back further than the idiots on YouTube are telling you. Whatever YouTuber you're listening to, they didn't go back when fucking Putin was first put in the office, and now he's made numerous mentions of wanting the USSR back together. He has said it himself on video, in interviews. He says it till this day. So you think that the Ukraine thing was just an accident? They were looking for a reason to fucking go in there. That's all it was. That's all it is. Anyway, with that, guys, I'm going to go off the air. Thank you for joining me tonight, for both channels. I do appreciate it. And guys, when the shit's on, it's on, and we will fucking react accordingly. That's it. That's all we can do. We're fucking peons. We're preppers. We're peons. We're not part of that bullshit world. We will find out whenever the fuck comes our way, and we will act accordingly. That's all we can do, and that's all we have left. Right, guys? Anyway, other than that, thank you for watching.